Obviously, Courtney's father, correct?
Yes.
And Pam Hamby is her mother, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And your sister is who?
Kim Weatherford.
Okay. And then Kim is married to,
Gerald.
okay. And their children are,
Megan and Craig.
okay. So Courtney is cousins to Megan, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you learned from, you believe your sister on October 3rd that Courtney's children were over at Megan's house, is that correct?
Yes, I
And-
believe that's the way it was.
And while we've got this diagram up, Pam Hamby, who is her brother?
Mike.
Mike McNabb?
I always knew him as Mike Hamby. I didn't
Okay.
ever know the McNabbs until way after this here. You know, way after Chris was involved.
Okay.
Then I didn't even know he was a McNabb. They first said his last name was Black, okay, and then it come to a McNabb, okay, and then Mike's name come a McNabb. Like I say, I always knew Mike as a Mike Hamby there for years and years and years. The McNabb name was all new.
But it turns out that Chris McNabb is Pam Hamby's nephew, is that correct?
Yes,
Which means Courtney and Chris are first cousins, is that correct?
yes.
Now, on this particular day and time when you got the phone call that your children, or you were notified somehow, was it a phone call or a text message or how?
I don't think it was a phone call.
Okay, so you were notified that your grandchildren were over there at their cousin's house?
Yes, over at Megan's.
Okay. And what did you do upon hearing that?
I wouldn't have pick them up.
And why'd you go do that?
Because Megan didn't need to, Megan already got 4 kids, so she didn't need no more burden there, you know, of trying to look after 2 more babies there, you know. So, and it was my place anyway, you know, they was my grandbabies, you know, so.
And had the children been over there for a period of time?
A day or so.
Okay. So when you went over there, did you go by yourself?
No, me and my father and my mother, I loaded my mother up. She was handicapped.
Okay. What'd y'all travel over there in?
In my other little old PT Cruiser.
Okay, so you have one PT Cruiser that you drive, and then you got one for Courtney as well?
Yes.
All right, so when you got, where did you go? Where did Megan live?
Across the street at the other trailer park.
Okay, what's that one called?
High Point, I think.
Okay. So here we can see where Eagle Point is and where Henderson Mill is which direction was Eagle Point? I mean, I'm sorry, High Point.
I think it's going to be to the left-hand side,
Like over here?
right over in this area here.
Okay. And so did you report there first, or did you go to
Yes.
Courtney's location?
No, I went to where the babies was at.
And did you get the children?
I loaded Rissa up in the back seat, in the car seat,
Okay.
and told Megan that I would be back and get the little baby.
Okay.
And then I went over there to Courtney's to get my PT Cruiser because my sister said they was doing drugs and heavy drugs and all that stuff, okay? So as I went over there to get my car, he took off running up the hill up towards Melissa Davis's apartments there. Chris.
Always use names and not
Okay,
pronoun.
all right. And then Courtney come got Rissa out the car. And then Melissa Davis and Chris come back down in her little old car and picked Courtney and Rissa up. Then I went back over to Megan's and got the little baby.
Okay. Let me just stop you for a second because you've mentioned the name Melissa Davis. Where did Melissa Davis live?
At the top of the trailer park, they got a set of apartments at the top of the trailer park.
Okay. And are those apartments depicted here in this photograph? You see where that number 36 is for the highway right in the middle of the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Is those the apartments there that you're talking about?
The apartments is gonna be, I think, right here.
Right where? I'm not
Right
seeing.
here.
Okay, exactly. Okay.
Yes.
So you said Chris took off running towards that direction, towards Melissa
Yes.
Davis. Okay, and just Again, since you mentioned Melissa Davis, I want to clarify another point for the jury. Melissa Davis has a daughter, is that correct?
Yes,
And the daughter's name is Diane, is that correct?
yes.
And Diane is with who?
Craig Weatherford.
Craig. So your nephew, Craig Weatherford, is in a romantic relationship with Diane Davis, whose mother is Melissa Davis?
Yes.
Okay. So when Mr. McNabb took off towards the hill, you said you went over there to Courtney's trailer to get that PT Cruiser, and what happened there with Courtney?
Courtney got restaurant of my PT Cruiser.
So she took the child
Yes.
from your car?
Yes.
And where were your mother and your father?
They was in the front seat.
Okay. And did you have any words exchanged with Courtney at that time?
I mean, I don't know. It's a year and a half ago. May I did, you know.
What about Kalia? Were you able to get her?
Yes.
So how'd you get her?
Went back across the street and got Kalia.
Now, at some point in time on that date, did you call 911?
Yes, after I called Assistant Chief Philip Bradford, he's one of my friends, and he told me to call 911 and report that I have the baby there.
Okay, and why did you call Bradford?
Because they were saying that they was gonna have me locked up for taking the baby from Megan's. Okay, my daughter, Courtney and Chris.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, this time I want to tender State's Exhibit Number 14 into evidence.
Is that by stipulation or any? It's the 911.
It's a 911 call.
Okay, it's submitted without objection.
And I've got transcripts for the jury judge, if I may pass them.